Hello, friends. Welcome back to another staff check-in. Today brought to you by Camp Brain. Camp Brain wants you to love your camp software, and that's what we love about Camp Brain. Shout out to Camp Brain for being a partner of ACA New England. Today I am joined once again by Kyle. Say hi to everyone, Kyle.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you for that. And actually, Kyle and I were talking recently. It's conference season. We just came off the Super Bowl, and it's a perfect time to have a little bit of a sports hole or a show hole or culture hole because we're entering conference season. So whether or not you just got back from the ACA National Conference, if you're going to be seeing us in Manchester at the end of March, or whether you're going to be at Tri-State here in a couple of weeks, or you're going to be attending other conferences by other friends in the network, it's important to kind of, do a quick self-assessment and talk, figure out what kind of person am I? And I mean, that has many layers. We have many identities, but what you and I were talking about specifically, when you get geared up to go to these kind of public conferences or professional development opportunities, being very aware of, all right, am I an introvert or am I an extrovert? And a lot of people will go like, duh, I already know that. But the way that you were explaining it to me, starting with, how do you even kind of think about the terms introvert and extrovert, I thought was interesting enough that I wanted you to share it with everybody else. That what did you mean as we go through this kind of conference season? What were you trying to tell me about? All right, be aware. This is kind of what it means to be an introvert. It's not necessarily about being socially and lively or quiet. It's a little deeper than that. So if you could share a little bit of your perspective, expertise on that, and what did you mean? What should folks be aware of as we head into this kind of conference season and then beyond into staff training?
I really appreciate that, bud. Yeah, so you and I were talking, like you said, and I think when you hear the word conference, you kind of visualize what that means for you, like if you were to go. So I think the first thing you think of is a lot of people, masses, crowds, movement, things like that. And that's a beautiful thing. And I think one of our goals as staff members with ACA New England is to cultivate the most inclusive environment possible for anybody who finds value in the information and the resources that we offer at the conference. And so, something that extends beyond, race, ethnicity, gender, things like that is considering introverts and extroverts. And so you're mentioning some of the things that might be surprising to people, but I think you're a terrific example, if I may use you as somebody to refer to. Anybody who goes
I
to the
consent.
meets Bud. He's wonderful with people. He's really engaging. He's really warm. And so I think the inclination is to think he must be an extrovert. And he was actually talking to me offline, and I know him well enough through getting to work with him for a couple of years that he actually is an introvert. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean he doesn't like people. He loves people. He's great with people, but he gets his energy naturally from time alone. And that's how it works. Introvert, extrovert, it's not about your ability to communicate with people. It's about where do you draw energy naturally. So let's look at that from the standpoint of what's available at the conference. If you are an extrovert, oh my goodness, there's so much opportunities for you. There are different kinds of social gatherings. There's actual socials within the conference schedule itself. There are different sessions and mingling time. There's breakout sessions. There is time during lunch. There's time to hang out after the conference events. There's different kinds of networking opportunities built all throughout the time. And then obviously when it's free time, and you can use that however you decide. Now, that might seem like a really rough go for somebody who's just feels extremely introverted, right? But that's okay. There's also ways to navigate that in a way that's beautiful. For example, we have a relaxation station where you can take time to be by yourself, to just unwind, decompress. There's also going to be different kinds of lounges. There's like a gym. There are little cafe areas that are kind of back and tucked away. In the expo hall, actually, back in that area, there's a lot of opportunities to just kind of take a walk and to be by yourself. And then the city of Manchester, like right where the hotel where the conference is located, has a beautiful strip that's just like one straight line, and there's a lot of cool shops where you can just take some time to get away, just walk up that street, and it seems to be safe from my standpoint. I don't want liability issues there, but it's a good location, and I think we're really blessed to be there. And so I just wanted to encourage everybody, whether you're introvert, extrovert, no matter if you know it or not, there's something there for you. So just read your own body, read your own situation and how you feel once you're there. And don't be afraid to talk to us. We would love to throw out suggestions and how to get the most out of your experience. Does that make sense, Bud?
It makes 100% sense. And I'm glad you said, don't be afraid to talk to us, because
Yeah.
while you pegged me pretty accurately as far as analyzing me with your psychoanalysis, if you don't know Kyle, get to know Kyle. I do. I love talking to our members. I love engaging with them. I look forward to seeing them all in Manchester. And obviously, we're around here anytime you need us. Camp at acanewengland.org. But thank you for that kind of insight, because like you said, we're trying to build an inclusive environment wherever we go, and that does span all different forms and definitions and layers of diversity, equity, inclusion. And so part of that today, we were looking at that kind of, check your assumptions sometimes, and also about others, and also about yourself, and be very aware of what's going to set you up for success throughout, whether it's your conferences that you're attending, or like I said, these are great lessons to remember for your staff training coming up. Not every camp person fits the same stereotype and the same mold, but I do believe that there is a camp person inside of everyone if you dig a little bit or you set up the environment correctly. So anyway, thank you again for checking in with us today, Kyle. We look forward to hearing from you again. And everybody else, keep being there for one another. We're always going to be here for you. Enjoy your conference season, folks.
Thanks.